You may be wondering why des appears so often in Japanese. What does it mean? And why is it here? Well, to answer your question, des is what's known as a sentence ender in Japanese, which is simply used to end a statement. Take a look for yourself.
これはカメラです。This is a camera. 私は日本人です。I am Japanese.
Now, between these examples, there are two important things to take notice of here. One, both are examples of statements, and two, des always follows a noun. Keep in mind that it is incorrect to use des when ending a sentence with a verb, such as to say, I am eating, 僕は食べてます. As you can see, this phrase ends with the verb to eat, 食べてます, and is not followed by des. But more on this later. For now, let's continue exploring the common forms of des used to modify a statement to be either past or present tense, positive or negative, or even convert a statement into a question. Now with that said, let's now begin by looking at some quick examples beginning with the present tense forms of des.
これはコーヒーです。This is coffee. これはコーヒーです。
Perhaps the simplest form of des is the positive form, which happens to be des. By ending a statement with des, you imply that whatever statement you have made is presently true, such as, this is coffee.
これはコーヒーじゃないです。This is not coffee.
When making a negative statement, use じゃないです, such as in this example stating this is not coffee. This negative form of des is very commonly spoken. However, there is one more version that is a little bit more polite that you can also use, and that looks like this.
これはコーヒーではありません。This is not coffee.
As you can see, this version is quite a bit different. Actually, it does not even include des at all. However, both this example and the previous one mean the exact same thing. The only difference here is this version is simply a little bit more polite. Now, I personally use じゃないです as I found this one to be more commonly spoken when I was in Japan.
これはコーヒーですか? Is this coffee?
When adding ka to the end of des, you officially transform that statement into a question, such as, is this coffee? Rather than simply stating with des alone that this is coffee. Now keep in mind that this does not only apply to des. In general, when a phrase ends with ka in Japanese, you can bet that it's a question. So there are all the common present tense forms of des. Let's now kick on over to the past and look at these forms as well, beginning with
これはコーヒーでした。This was coffee.
The positive form in the past tense is deshita rather than des. The more you learn Japanese, the more you will notice shita being used to imply the past tense, such as in this case, this was coffee.
これはコーヒーじゃなかったです。This was not coffee.
In this example of the negative form, instead of shita used to imply past tense, you'll see katta instead. Katta is another sound you will get familiar with the more you learn Japanese, as like shita, it is also heavily used to imply the past tense, such as in this case, this was not coffee. Negative past tense.
これはコーヒーではありませんでした。This was not coffee.
Just like the present tense negative, when it comes to the past tense, there is also a more formal alternative. Looking at this example, notice anything familiar? Deshita. There it is again. Remember, when you see shita or kata, it is telling you that this is something that happened in the past.
これはコーヒーでしたか? Was this coffee?
Deshitaka, the question form of the past tense negative. Now at this point, it should be no surprise here that when adding ka to the end of deshita, the past tense positive form of des, we officially turn it into a question, such as, was this coffee? Now, although this was a quick lesson, we did manage to cover quite a bit here. However, I don't expect you to have memorized everything quite yet. To review all the forms of des and see some handy examples of how you can practice them, check out the link in the description of this video to read the written article on Japponline.com. I also challenge you to give the fill in the blank section a try on the page to test out how well you really do know this stuff. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave us a comment on this video, and we'd love to help you out even further. Also, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, we would greatly appreciate it if you would like this video, share it with others, and definitely be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you won't miss out on any future lessons. ありがとうございます。 for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.